This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. So today I will show you a case of how to migrate your GG from one server to another. So for now, before going there, I'll just explain one case here. All right. Now, just showing something like a standard case which you'll see in production. This is your source server, your target DB, and you have GoldenGate between these two. So you have a extract pump here and replicate here. So I'm skipping the trail files for now. Okay, we're just for the drawing purpose. Extract, pump, replicate. Okay, so the flow is, as we all know, this is the source database. So extract will extract from the source, redo and archives. Then it sends to the pump to the trail file. Again here, RFT trail to the replicate, and then from here we do an SQL apply to the target. So this is a standard flow, like you have a source database and a target one, and you have GG between them. Now, understand a case like, in real-time production, there is a case where you, apart from GG, you also have an active data guard over here for of course both the source and the target. So I'd say standby of source. For example, well, let me name this source DB as okay, right? Okay, we'll do that afterwards. Okay, so standby for source, and here you have an data guard, active data guard, ADG. Okay, so this is a very standard flow. I mean, like in real-time production, apart from DG, you have the standby also. You can have it for source and target both, but here I'm just trying to focus on the source end now. Now, for any case, for example, you have a failover or a planned switchover, right? So what will happen here? Currently, the primary source, right? Like this is serving the traffic. Let me show with this. Okay, when I say this, it's live. Live, right? Live means what? The source server is serving the traffic, and this is the primary now. And when you do a planned switchover or failover, so what happens is the standby. Okay, so this will be the new primary, right? New primary. If I can write it, new primary. When that happens, what will happen to OGG, like, or how to handle them? Okay, so for now we are like focusing only on one end, that is source end. So extract. Okay, now I mean in extract you have two, right? Classic and integrated. So classic extract, yes, it can work in standby also, but there's another way is, it's altogether different scenario. All right, but in this standard way, it will not work. The thing is, now this is the standby now. The old primary is the standby, and here the extract will fail. Even integrated extract will fail. So for just a small note here, okay, don't just ignore that for now. I extracts will never work in standby. Okay, because why? I for I extracts, it has to update few DBA views internally. And since standby will be only a read only, right? So I extract is straight away discarded. Yeah, but classic can work with standby. This is I mean, we'll together a new case. I'll explain this in another class because we have few more things to do here and there, few more setting, and then only after that it will work. But here in this case where the source was live and we did a switchover or a failover, anything, now the standby is the new primary and this is the new standby now. Standby, okay. So here extract will of course fail, all right. So now how to handle this case? And also one more thing, normally we install GG in the source server itself. Okay, and why? Because like I have explained in my previous classes, why it is helpful. Okay, and we don't normally use GG as a hub model, but yes, we can. But normally it's installed where your source DB is. All right. So now here, what we can do, we can either plan to migrate extract and from this server, from the source server to here, standby. But trust me, it's not that straightforward. All right. So now, for example, a failover happened. All right. There was some issue with the primary, so the primary is crashed or something. Now the standby is in new primary. At this point, how can you make sure that the for application, the target, it is waiting for the source. So this is not uh, I mean, the GG for application that is not affected. So how to solve that? The thing is, what I would do now, if you see an extract here, for example, well, let me show one. Okay, Credential Store behavior. All right. So this TNS entry right here. So what I will do here, the TNS entry. Let me change it. Okay, the TNS entry. It will have the TNS entry, right? Like you can see here, right, to the credential store or directly also we can put it. So what I'll do, I will just change the TNS entry in extract to point to the standby. So basically, I will change the host here. Okay, here I gave an IP here, but in real time you will use scan IPs, right? So here, so what I did, I made my extract directly point from server X, okay, to the new primary or the standby server, like the old standby, which is what. So this way, at least for now, you can have the GG flow be proper. So here, the new diagram would be that extract is not taking from this now. This is taking like this. Okay. So this way you can temporarily solve the issue, because uh, trying to install GG on the server of standby will not be good in this case, because after you solve the issue in the primary, you are going to switch back, right, to the primary. So at that case, again, you have to move the extract from the new primary's I mean, the new primary to the, the original one. So that will not be, that is not a good practice. So this is like a quick workaround how you can solve this. Okay. All right. So now, in the same logic, okay, for example, now you guys might be, migrating your database from one server to another. This I'm talking only in terms of Oracle for now. For non-Oracle, it's a whole different case, right? So thing is, now what we are trying to do is we are trying to leverage active data guard. So, all right, the same case, extract, pump, or replicate. Same extracts, pump, replicate. For example, this is database Mac 1. And this is target. So this is like GGTRG. Okay. And this guy over here is the standby. Okay. For example, believe this. Now, for example, this is server X1. Now, you have a task where you need to migrate this DB from the old server X to the new server Y. Okay. So first step, like what I have observed is happening. It's like if the servers are compatible, everything and all. So we create a active data guard over here. So ADG. So temporarily we will have, this will be standby of Mac 1. All right. The thing is, for example, we have planned a migration, for example, now it is August. So for example, you plan it for September. So before 2-3 weeks of the date of the actual migration, we will, set up ADG and all, just to be ensure it's all good and all. Now, so at the day of migration, now I'm just trying to tell you the standard way, which I have seen is very easy to follow. But yes, you guys can have your own. You can just, have some tweaks also in it. So for example, now ADG is set up, all right, and we're running well. So I will not be showing you the ADG part. I'll be directly showing you the GG part to save some time. And GG is installed on server X because that's what we normally do. Set it and in server Y. Sorry. Now, at the day of migration, on migration day, So we perform a switch over of DB Mac1 from X1 to Y1. So if you remember, it is similar to this case, right? So at that point, like same. So what we do here is, what I would recommend you guys is that don't migrate GG on the same day as you migrate the database. I'll show you why. So for now, on the day of migration, it performs switch over. All right. So at that one, now before you do all this, okay, of course, we will be having some downtime and all, right, from the on the app end. So you just stop the extract, pump, and all the OGG process. In short, all OGG process on Mac 1, that is currently in server X, right? So but before we perform the switchover, we have to stop the extract and pump on if it has any replicates, even that. So once you stop all these things, then you can perform the switchover from X1 to Y1. And after this, what I will do is update the DNS entry of extract, or if it had, for example, if you had some replicates also, okay, from some other source replicate, right? So just for your visualization, for some other, some other, now for example, database Z, all right? So you can even stop that also. So you can just update the DNS entry, yeah, entry of extract and what replicates to point to new primary host, that is Y1, all right? So with this, temporarily, you can have your extract and over replicates up. So let me show that over this diagram. So for now, I'll just edit the TNS entry and give server one. So this is the source. So see, if you see, we are not migrating GG, we are just changing the TNS entry. So it's like a hub model, right? Your GG is installed in server X, but it is accessing database which is in another server, that is server Y1. Same way for the for replicate. All right. Now, why I'm saying this? So I'm just trying to tell a standard way which has worked very well for me. Thing is, now, for example, today's 10th. All right. So today we migrated the database Mac 1 from server X1 to Y1. All right. Now we are not migrating GG, right? Straight away. And once we do the migration, now then this will be the live one, right? Y1 will be live. All right. Now, for example, it is live and their application team is doing some testing and all those things. And for example, it is not performing up to the level, the application team will have some checks like, um, I mean, performance test or some sanity checks and all. And if they don't pass, then we have to fail back, right? But if that happens, so what I will do? Again, we will do switch over from Y1, like we'll stop everything. Of course, extract, extract, if this extract and replicate, even pump is fine. Even if you stop or don't stop, it will not make any difference. But yeah, just stop it. And then, so when you're going to perform a switch over, sorry, a switch back from Y1 to X1, so here you're doing, let me use a different color. So now you're doing a switch back since the, I would say, the sanity checks failed in the new server. So you're doing a switch back again from Y1 to X1 here in this case. So again, what you have to do, just update the DNS entry, the host from Y1 to X1 again, and there you go. So from the GG part, there is hardly anything to do in this case because my migration, like the switch over and switch back, are really fast. But GG, I know, like if, for example, you migrated GG on the same day as you did for the database, and it's not straightforward. It's gonna give you hell. I mean, a lot of issues with respect to the checkpoints and the proper stop and all, stop times and all. So this way we can do it really fast. So what we do normally, we first to migrate the database alone, update the DNS entry of extract and replicate, and let it go for a week or so. And after that, we plan for migrating the golden gate. All right. So in this case, now we guys are planning to migrate this extract and power pump from this server X1 to here Y1 because here this is live now, and this is the new server. I mean, this is the new server for the DB Mac one, which we need to migrate. All right. So I hope the case is. I mean, like the case is easy to understand, right? This is one case. There are so many cases where you need to migrate to Golden Gate. All right. So now, how to do it? I'll give a brief right away here. Okay, so this is my source for now. That's my source GG. That's my target one. Target GG. Yeah, and when I say you need to, okay, yeah, well, let me update this again. Yeah, so point number 6. DB migration. Okay. So DB migration is done, and extract replicates are still connecting remotely to Mac 1 from server X. So, like after a few days or the threshold days, right? Now, in the server Y also, you need to install GG, right? So I would say, I mean, just have the same version as you have in the server X. For example, install GG, same version as in server X1. Okay. So now in my case, all these things have been done. So now I'll show you the actual work. So this is my old server. Okay. On TBA, we have two VMs over here. This is my old one. Okay, this is my source and primary. I mean source GG, target GG. CDB. Okay. So actually earlier I had the source and target GG homes on the same server. It's a one node. I mean it's a single instance. All right. So now this is the new server. Okay, where this is like the server Y1. All right, and this is the server X1. Now let me just give you a brief about the database. First thing, this is all right. So this is the Unix 5 plus, and I have GoldenGate over here, which is 12.2 version for 12C database. Okay, same I have installed here. Okay, now right. Well, let me show you where my extracts are connecting. If you see it is connecting to, let me show you, Credential Store. It's connected to Mac 1. So I don't have a database with Mac 1 over here. I just have to GG SRC and GGTRG for now. This Mac 1 is here. So I just gave the, IP for now. All right. So this uh, reflects the case that the extract is remotely connecting here. Okay. Now, how to start it? So I have an extract pump here, three set of extracts, three pumps, and over replicate. I have three here. And in this one, open nothing is there still. MJ is stopped. Open nothing is up for now. If you want to check from the DB end, basically when I'm showing you that this this extract is connecting to this machine, sorry, Mac 1, right, or the server Y1, so that I'm trying to show you from the database end. So hash machine module program, and the username through which I'm doing my GG stuff is GG user. Mm. So if you see here, this is my server. The hostname for this is Mac1. Okay, so now as you can see, GG is in server my server, and database is here in Mac1. But you can see the extracts ext02b, ext02a, ext-inta, the same process you can see over here. ext02, ext0b, ext INTA. All right, I hope that is clear. Now, how to plan of moving this extract and pump from my server or this server to Mac 1 server, right? So, before I would just give you a brief here. Now, this is relevant. So now what are we seeing? GG migration, post DB migration using data guard. So what we need to do is first we have to copy all the files, parameter files, the global file, all right, or include files. Sure. Include files means like let me, I have not used them actually. And so here like I have just given the name of the table, as it is. Or, I mean, in real time, you would be using an include file where you will be storing all these all the details, and you will just include it in this, the actual parameter file or the extracts pump or the, okay. So it is same as the parameter file. Then we have to copy the checkpoint file, and also the credential store trail files behavior. So well, let me go step by step. All right. Now here I'll be showing you how to migrate every process one by one. And here, if you can see, we are migrating the source server, not the, okay, we are migrating the source GoldenGate and not the target one, right? So this is the first extract, all right? This is my habit to check the recovery checkpoint always. Now, the more, the more detail, but you can see in my checkpoint class. So, see here, recovery checkpoint. So this is uh, 10th of August, I mean 9:46 p.m. And what is the current timestamp? It is almost same. Okay. Recovery means once you stop the extract and when you start it back, it will start from this point. So normally in a real-time production, you might see a case where this is a lot, different. I mean, it can be 2 3 days behind also. It, it can be 7th of August also. So when this is the case, you will have files, bounded recovery files. All these are explained in the previous classes. Okay, so you can just check more in detail. I'll just give a brief. Okay, so this is BR files actually, and where are they stored? In the GG home CD BR, and you have files for every extract over here, and you will have some BR files like this. Okay, so if you, for example, the recovery point is 7th of August, so it's almost 3 days behind. So you'll have files with the timestamp of 7th of August. We'll have 2 3 files, 7th August, 8th August, 9th August, and so on. Now, why? Okay, first I'll go step by step. First, okay, I just saw that uh, for example, we'll go by this. Okay, I'll show you the standard way, and then you can tweak according to you. So just for example here, just let's take that the recovery checkpoint is 7th of August. I'm stopping the extract. Of course, for this also you need to take the downtime from the app team. Choose a time where you have, downtime from the a- app team, or the appropriate time where you don't have much of transactions. Choose a silent time. That's what I mean. Let's give it some time to start. This is a VM, so it won't be fast. Just thanks for your patience. Just yeah. So now, if you can see, you don't see sessions of ext0 to A. You can see ext0 to B, I, INTA, okay? So I think it must be stopped now. Yeah, let's stop. All right. Okay, so I will also stop is a respective pump. Now, how to find which pump is for which extract is that is also explained. Okay, now I know that this is the pump for that extract, so I'm tired, so I'm just directly hitting it. Always do a login, what does this mean? It's like what how much of a tray the extract has written. All those trays have been consumed by the pump and sent to the target. Right. Okay, so pump is stopped here. So you let and just because the name I gave with some patterns, so it's easy for me. So these two are the set which I'll be migrating first. So again, first I have to let me yeah, I hope it's not that. Okay. I just want everything to be on one page, so I'm doing this. Migrating OGG process from it's not too well. So copy the parameter files first. So we open a new session here. Okay, I'm here itself. I'll just set the environment variables. Yeah, I'm over here. So this I had installed now only, so you will not have the folder. I believe like DRM, PRM. Okay. So create sub DIRs. PRM. Okay, so parameter files, as you know, we normally store in the PRM. That's the standard we have to follow. PRM web Alright, so this is my extract and pump parameter files. So let me SCP them. It was this. Back. Okay, so you can either copy to temp or you can directly copy like based on how you can. So just copy to temp for now. Right, let's come over here. So I'll copy from temp over here. So parameter file here. Same way I'll do for the pump. I'm doing it slowly so that it's easy to understand. Actually, I mean, in this case, I can copy the whole bunch, like the whole dir, PRM, since we are migrating all the processes. But what if, for example, here I know I need to, migrate all these 6 processes from here to the new server. So I can even copy the whole dir, PRM, and all those things. But what if in one GG home you have the GoldenGate process for multiple database? So you can't do that. So I'm just trying to show you the ideal way. Yeah, it can be slow also, but yes, it is perfect. And so you can change accordingly to your case also. So dir PRM pump, copying the pump parameter file also. So here I have the pump parameter files. Now we also copy the globals files. So I don't have much here in this file for me right now. Global files we have directly in the home, GG home. Alright, so global files is done. Copy file, globals file. Alright. Now, so these 3 are done. So let's copy the checkpoint file. Now be very, very, very uh, so checkpoint file are very important files. Okay, I mean, let's not play with it much. Do only when you know it. So you can see my previous classes, how to deal with them in a safe way. So dir chk is the folder where you will have the checkpoint file. As you can see, there are 2 files with extension .cpb cpe. CPE at the end stands for extract and B is for bounded recovery. Right. So what I'll do, I'll copy this file to my file. Now, when you copy the checkpoint file, you can see what happens. So now in info, you don't have anything over here. Oh, we have to start the manager also. Anyways, have a mind into that later also. also cp tam dirchk. So in dirchk you have these files, checkpoint file. When you do info, you will see the extract over here, right? Same way, let's do for the pump also. So pump will have only the extract file and not the BR, because that is only for the extract one. Pump job is just to SCP, or copy the trace from the source to the target. Yeah, CHK. Now if you do info, you have the pump also. Right, but no, we cannot start it yet. We have few more things to do. So let me update here also. Copy checkpoint 5 for extract. Copy checkpoint 5 for pump. Now here, I like to stop you guys for a minute. Sorry. So I want to show a case where in some case you'll have to copy the checkpoint file of the pump or the replicate, and in some case you can't. So what are those cases? What happened? Okay, it's taking some time. So let me give you the case. Copy checkpoint or recreate pump. Right, involve. Okay, now if you observe my pump over here, if you look at the train file path, it's a relative path. It's not an absolute path. It's like dot, like the from the current directory, then dir, dat, and the folder name and so on. Even if you see in the parameter file, I've given relative path only. So the advantage over here is that even when the GG home will change. Now, for example, if you see the path of the GG home here, it is slash u01 GG user 12.2c12. And same here, if you see, it is like slash test2 OGG and on. So the mount point chain, so the mount point where your GG is installed will not be same, right, everywhere. I mean, if it's same, then fine, no issues. But I will take a case where it's not same. So here, I mean, normally I have seen people, or in some cases now here, it will not be this way. It will be they actually hardcore the whole path. I mean, they give the absolute path. What I mean here. So when you have such a path where you have the whole mount point name itself. So it's not necessary that since in the new server which I have, I will have the same way, the same the GG will not be installed in the same mount point or the same naming convention, right? Because it is slash and test2. So if in such a case, I cannot copy the checkpoint file of the pump, and also in the same case as of the for replicate, because in for replicate also we have the trail file. It comes in its definition. Wait a second, it's taking some time. If I have it above, I'll show you. Yeah, you can see here. Say dot slash didat and all. So the formula is, if the path is relative, fine, just copy the checkpoint file. Or if it is, absolute path, then sorry, you have to recreate the pump and for replicate. I'll show you both. Okay, here, don't worry. But for extract, there is no need, because in extract it will not show the trail file path in the info. So it will just show the, if it is indicator or classic on uh, which SCN and all it is. I mean, currently to accessing. Now the version here is 12.2 C12. Okay, I have to just mention you one more thing. Okay, recreate when trail path is absolute. Copy checkpoint file when trail path is relative. But the problem is from 12.3 and above, that is 18C, 19C, and all. Even if you give relative path, it will take absolute path. So if you are migrating and your GG version is like 12.3 or 18C, then you have to recreate, irrespective of whether you use an absolute path or a relative path. Well, it's just copying a file, but there are so many things, right? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't need to stop the replicate here, because we are not going to do anything on the target OGG. Right. So we have copied the checkpoint file here. One case I will show with copying the files. Another case I'll show you to recreate. Right. Now, so we copied checkpoint file also. Now, credential store. Now, I mean, nowadays we are not, using. I mean, we are not putting the password straight away in the parameter file. We do it with credential store. Credential store. We can view more information in that session of mine. Okay. Okay. So now you have two options. Either you can create a new credential store in uh, in the target server. You see, I don't have any credential store over here. I'm sorry for the spell check. Credential store. So it's showing unable to open. So what I'll do, I'll just, ease my work for now. I would dir crd, that is where the Credential Store file is stored. I just copy this wallet file over there. It's on you how you want to do. You can also recreate it, but I'll save some time over here. So it's wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see. Temp file. I have this wallet file right here. So I'll copy that. dircrd. Now, if you do info credential store, so I don't need to type the command or copy the whole thing. I'll just do exclamation and the line number. So it's 8 right here. 8. So it will execute the command which was there in the 8th line. That is info credential store. So if you see it, you got over here. And here you have to just make sure that your DNS entry is all good. Yeah, it's all good. No worries. All right. So credential store file is also done. Credential store file. Credential setup. Okay, if, just in case if you don't want to copy the file, you just create it. Now, so this is also done. Now the trail file. So what we have to do, we have to copy the last trail which the extract was dealing with. All right. Because if you don't, because for example, if I mean when you stop the extract here, it was writing to sequence 5. Now once we go to the new server, right? There, at this point will not have any trail file over here. So when you try to start it, it will actually look for the trail file number 5 first. If it's not able to find that, it will fail. So info this. All right. So we have the latest trail that is sequence 13 over here. That's it. Let's HTTP that thing. Now, before that, I have to make the directory structure, right, for the trail file. So I can see here where it is dir dat. Okay, that will be there, but here it is empty. So I have to create the same directory structure here. So under dir dat in the original server, we have a folder with the name extract. So I just create this folder mkdir ext028. Okay. Now let me copy that file. All right. So this file is copied over here. And one more thing, let me copy the manager parameter file also, just in case I don't have much here, just for a test purpose, but in real time production, you'll have much more. That is also, I mean, explained in my previous classes. Just go and have a look. Here, it's your choice if you want to use the same port or a new port, right? It does not matter much. Only thing is the port, it should be available. Start MGR, manage down. Okay, now it's up. See here, now we have the manager running. All right. Now, as I told you, BR, right? So trail file, just copy is done. Copy the latest trail. Okay. Also BR. So, okay, I don't have a brief explanation, but yes, I have faced this issue. The thing is, when you don't copy the BR, so for example, in our case, the extract had a recovery checkpoint of 7th August, like I can say 3 days behind. Okay, now when's after till here, okay, I can say till here we have not copied the BR file yet, but yeah, till this point you can start your extract in the new server. But at that point, it will need the archive logs of this time, that is the recovery checkpoint time. It will, okay. So in case you have archives, fine, you're safe. But in case you don't have, then that's the issue. Then you have to restore the archive logs, because I've seen in few cases where it is even 1 month old also. That's a bug from OGGN. That is another topic, but yes. So now what to do in this case? So we have to copy the BR files also. And now what in my experience, if I copy the BR file same way as I copied all other files, it will not work, because since you copy this way, the timestamp of that file changes, right? To the very best way. And for example, this is July 7th, okay, almost 1 month. And if you don't copy the BR file, it will look for archive log 1 month old, and that is not feasible you know, to restore it, right? So we need to have the BR files from the original server to the new server. And if you copy the files, just a copy of SCP, the BR files, it doesn't work. Even if you copy the BR files, so when you do SCP and all, the timestamp will change, right? So you can try to do like SCP with hyphen P option, so that the time is not changing like the okay. If you do that, fine. If you're not doing it, if you just do a normal SCP or a copy in which the timestamp changes, right? Timestamp of the PR file changes, it will not pick, extract will not pick that file, and it will again go for the archive log. It will actually clean those files. So what we do, uh, we just do a tar. That's it. No more headache. Just take a tar. And then I will copy this tar file. In normal case, when you're migrating all the processes, just to tar up the whole PR folder itself. Right. So I have the start file over here. So at the very start, you will not have any PR folder. Okay, so you can just make one. So copy that tar file over here. So now you can see here the timestamp of that file is not changed. It is still 20. Current time is 22. And if I do the same over here, same time here, right? 20:05, 20:05. So say copy PR folder using tar. We don't want to change the last modified time of the files, else extract will not pick it. There's no any brief explanation. This is the practical experience. Right. So let's see. We have everything in place. The parameter file is copied. Credential Store is also working. Well, let me check. Yeah, so trail file also copied. Great. So let me try to start, and I hope there is no session. Okay, you can see there is no session for ext02a, p, nta, and all. There are 11 rows over here. So now just do a start extract. Just give it some time. The VM is slow here at my end, but yeah, just the steps will be same. Okay, yes, running now. So now if you see, you will have these sessions over here. See, it was 11 row earlier, now it is 16, and yeah, here you go, ext02a. Just a minute. So now the same way we'll do for the pump. We'll start the pump process over here. So let's give some time for the pumps to start. Okay. Yeah, the DNS is not set up at my end. So that's why it's failing. So I'll just give the IP address for now, but that is not the standard of practice. Don't do that in real-time production, okay? Normally we put scan, we create a new GGV VIP and we give that name. Also it's IP config. Oh, that's strange. Just a minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
So this is the IP. Cannot change anything here because the target MGR manager port is like, it's same. So we're not going to do anything over there. Oh, it's a now white field. TCP route to the host. That thing been working. Okay, that's good. I hope the manager port is also correct. Just give me a second. Let me check on the error.
This conference will now be recorded.
Wait, I think this is the issue with the firewall here. This is my test server, so let me check if I can turn them off. me stop for now. Don't do this in production, okay? This is like dev for me, so I can do it. I just hope it should work now. Yeah, I think now it will work. Wait, this is VM, so yeah, that came out. And now in the target, rep 0, I guess. What is the RMT host over here? PXT go to A. Yeah, so you can see the trail file number 15 over here, and my replicate over here has picked up that. So if I do a small transaction, I would say, let me check the table name over here. That means it won't wrong. Okay, 3004 test one. This is just a test transaction, okay? Yeah, I just got that one insert. Oh, so stats. Yeah, same here. Let me check if my replicate got or not. Yeah, you can see the table name. Scotty MP no to Scotty MP neither. Why? So this is one step. So now we have other process also to migrate. Yeah, and one very important thing, whenever you have done the migration, please rename the checkpoint file, which is in the old server. So for, because if by mistake someone starts this, then unnecessarily you will have issues. You can have two, I mean, like it's like having two sessions of extract, and then it's really tough to solve those issues. So always, 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 please say extract migrate. Let's migrate it to Mac 1. Any name, like how you want. So once you have moved the checkpoint file, you will check that the extract is not there. You see, don't have ext02a. Same way, let's do for the pump also. This is a very good and standard way, So this way you can just avoid the fatal issues. Now we'll do the extract in the same way, but for the pump, I'll recreate it. So again, always better to check the recovery checkpoint over here. If the recovery checkpoint is almost same as the current checkpoint, or just few, I mean, for example, you can say 1 day old or few hours behind, that's fine. They can just, then there's no need to copy even the beer, because I mean, like, at the end, you need to ensure that you have the archive logs in place. But yeah, as a standard, please always copy the beer. So let's copy this track. Just do a login on the pump and stop this also. Just wait for it to update. Yeah, but one more thing I think you guys should have noticed over here. See now, the for the extract ext02, it is showing as Mac1 and not my server. See here? All right. Okay, go here. Is it stopped? Sure. Okay, I think it's taking time to even take my command over here. Anyways, it's my VM is slow, so please ignore that. But yeah, you won't find. I mean, you won't face such issues in your real time. Let me run this again. Okay, now you can see that the sessions of ext02b are not to be seen here. So hopefully it is stopped. All right, wait. So again, this time we'll do something. I mean, a little quick. All right. So SCP. SDG here. All right, the file. So here ready. All right, parent files are over here. Now, so now if you see the steps over here, parameter file you're doing, global file, yeah, we already did in the first try. And to copy the checkpoint files. Now, for extract, yes, we have to always. For pump, I'll show you how to recreate it. So yeah, here is my extract. SHK. These are the two files I need to copy. Yes. All right, I have the checkpoint file ready. So, see, extract is here once we copy the checkpoint file. Copy the BR folder for that. So let me tar. That is very easy step, instead of just doing a CP hyphen P and all. Because in my case now you're not seeing much files, but in real time production, if the checkpoint file is too old, you will you will find a lot of files. Just this is to save some time and for the accuracy. Let's SCP this file also. All right, I have the tar file over here. So let me copy that file from the temp. That's here. And for ext02b, I have to do now. So you can see here, the folder is here. And the time is not the latest one, right? So my extract is good to start. Not okay, well, not yet. I need to copy the trail files also, right? Okay, now, okay, I have just the one trail. Why I'm doing this because if you observe, in my case, for all the extract, the trail file name ET is same actually. This one ET, only the folder is different. I will not just copy everything into temp, I'll just copy a different folder in the target. Just a safety side from my end. I don't want trail files to overwrite each other. Trail over here. Okay, so I have the file here. Now, let's actually go to that folder. Here. So first we'll create the directory structure, right? So go to your DAT, and I have only the directory structure for the first extract, and I'll create the second extract also here. Okay, dir, set, good. Now let me copy the trail, the stamp trail. I'll copy this over in this folder. Let me just validate it again. Before starting the extract, it's always good to validate again. Okay, something wrong. Did I copy the file? Oh, I did not. Not sure. Copy it again in this folder. Now it is there. Yeah, now it is there. So now I can just start this extract for now. I didn't move the pump yet, but yeah, I'll do it soon. So let it keep starting. Now, where is my pump? All right. Well, let me copy its parameter file. Oh, sorry, I think the parameter file is already copied. Sorry for that. Yeah, I just need to copy the checkpoint file of that. scpdir copy the checkpoint file. Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually I want to show you how to recreate, right? Okay, I'm sorry for that. I'll just move the checkpoint file so it will not occur. But don't do that in real time, okay? Unless you're absolutely sure. So this extract is up and it would have written some trails also. Okay, yeah. We had only trail file 0 earlier, now we have trail file 1. The thing is, now you have to recreate the pump. Why? As I told you, in case if you have the absolute path like the slash u01 gg 12.2, so you won't have the same naming convention everywhere. So that case it will go wrong if you just copy the checkpoint file. So here we have to recreate the pump. So since you have already copied the parameter file of the pump, you can just view this again. Now let me add pump. Pump name, 1 second.
This conference will now be recorded.
Exit trail source, this. Let's add RMT trail, extract. Anyways, I'm giving just 2 because I don't have much data over here. So I'm just giving it as 2 so that multiple trails can be generated. Now, as you can see, once you create any pump or replicate, it will always start from sequence 0. But I need to set this to 1, right? Because it's a new trail. I mean, the next, we have to set the pump to that trail which was created newly. So since when, I mean, in the old server, it had already consumed this trail 00. Now I'll just make it to read from 1. extseqno trail file sequence and which RPA. Since I need to make my pump read from the start of that new trail, extrba 0. Let's start. Oh, same issue over here. uses IP intercept. It's only issue because I don't have the DNS, in place. But you won't face this issue in real time, so that's fine. So let's give it a few minutes. So it has not yet just checkpointed. Now just now it has read some trails. So yes, this pump is also good. So I hope you are clear, right? If you see from the replicate end, yes, it is on the latest trail. Right. So earlier, I mean, I'm not sure if you are like if you had seen the upgrades. Earlier, we used to do ET roll over, but from 12.2, it's not required. So as you can see, because once I add the pump, right? So since here, if you see, we have added the pump, right? A fresh pump. So by default, it will reset to sequence 0, both ext trail and rmt trail. You see, when I just created, I'll just put that. Yeah, here when I just created the extract, added the ext trail, added the rmt trail, right? So by default, the sequence would be like ext trail sequence 0, rmt trail sequence 0. But here I have set the ext trail because I know from which trail it has to start, and rmt trail I have not done because you can't just explicitly set rmt trail. But from 12.2 onwards, it takes properly from which trail file it needs to go. I mean, I think it can have some information in the report file or in the GG HCF file. Well, let's see if we have something here. GG HCF file for sure we have. Check in the report file. Yeah, checkpoint was aggressive storm, but the record was found after the checkpoint in trail. Expected, see here, it expected sequence 0, RBA 0, but since it found 9, it then started to write from 10. So that is the smartness of GG, I would say, because now this made our life easy. Else, if this was not the case, then you had to delete and add the replicate also, so that even that gets reset to 0. Frankly speaking, it saved a lot of your pain, especially when in environment where the source is with one vendor and the target is with some other vendor, right? So this actually saves a lot of pain. So now, well, let me do the remaining part pretty quick. Now here I'll just copy the checkpoint file. Before that, let me rename this, checkpoint file, because if the same, I mean, like here at this point, okay, you have the same extract in this GG home. That is once again. So you have the extract in this GG home and also in this, right? By mistake, if someone starts here, you're gonna in for a big mess. So let's not even experience that. Created to Mac one. You can give any name. I just need to. I'm just giving some sensible name. Just if I see it later, I would understand what happened. Same values is for the pump also. right? So now it's not there. Similarly, let me stop the extract. Okay, just log in on the pump. So now I'll copy the parameter file, checkpoint file, BR files, and the last trail file, and straight away start it. Copy the pump parameter file straight away. Copy the checkpoint file also. I'm just doing it all at one go. File ext inta. This is these are the two files I need to copy. Since it is 12.2, so I can just copy the checkpoint file of the pump as I told earlier. But if it was 12.3 and above, you had to recreate the pump or replicate if you had. Now, in this case, I'm not having. I'll show you the migration of the target on the next session. Right. Everything in place over here. So let me copy the start time. Copy the extract parameter file. Let me copy the pump parameter file. Now let me copy the checkpoint file. Okay. Let's see how to extract and pump. Now assume that the the recovery checkpoint is not that old, just like few hours behind, and you know that you have the archives for it. And if you want to save the pain to copy the BR file, just ignore it for now and you can just start it. Show ch. Okay, so recovery checkpoint is 10th August 2256. Current is also same. It's almost same. Just see the SCN. It's only few SCNs behind. So I will not copy the BR file for now. Okay, now I have to copy the trail file. All right. The latest trail file I have over here. CP. So let's first create the directory structure for the trail file here. DIDAT, NKDIR. I just copy. Okay, where did I copy that in the temp? Let me check. It is 01. I hope that's okay, fine. Just ensure parameter file is in place. Alright, the trade file is also in place. Great. Pump is also good, right? Okay, so now we can start. Okay, let me edit the parameter file of the pump with the IPR field again. All right, it looks good. If you want, you can just do some test transaction. Yeah. Before that, now you see all the machine is Mac 1, Mac 1, Mac 1, Mac 1. So this proves that all the GG processes have been migrated to the new server. Let's do some quick test transactions for you to understand. Set department. Let me add one. Say, let's what name to give. GDA. Oh, yes, I'll put that. 99, hello. Okay, it's not, it didn't caught up yet. Let's give it some time. Yeah, now it got department. So let's take the status of pump. Yeah, department. Let's directly get here. Oh, what? Okay, I think I just by mistake changed the parameter file. Okay, so the update didn't came through only. Yeah, let me check if there is department in any other replicate. Wait a second. Okay, thing is like by mistake, what I did is like it's my mistake. It's like the parameter file mistakes. Okay. Thing is in the extract, I'm extracting 3 tables, but in the replicate, I gave a mapping only for one. So I'm sorry here. But let me do an update in this on the EMP. If you can see, I have added only EMP underscore new table to map is called P underscore EMP. And here I extract 3. This is my mistake. Roll, I just insert one over here. Insert it box. Comment. Well, let me take, okay, just check here first. Okay, so we got one row over here also. Yeah, we got here. And let's check from the database also if you want. For organizations, store, recharges this note. I know the password of GG user, so I'll just use it directly with that. What was the target table name? Scott Peter EMP. Yeah, see, the row is replicated. Okay. Okay, friends, I hope you understood the thing. So now basically just a quick thing. We here we have migrated extract and pub, and so in this all these are the steps like copying the parameter file. I mean this also holds true for the replicate also, like pump and replicate, the steps are same. Only thing is in the replicate you'll have to add the entry in the checkpoint file, sorry, in the checkpoint table. Yeah, so that I'll also show you afterwards. So just a quick recap: copying the parameter files, global file, copying the checkpoint file, copying the checkpoint file for the pump, or recreate the pump in case like if you need to recreate if the path is absolute, that is a full path, like right from slash u01 and all. And you can copy the checkpoint file if it is related. So in short, I mean what I have seen is like from 12.3 and above, you need to always recreate the pump and the replicate. Okay. And then Credential Store, copy the validator trail file, copy the BR, right? So thank you, friends. Uh, and for more cases, I'll be uploading it soon. Thank you.